Yeah, we're live. Good morning, everybody. It is
Hey.
Monday morning, and today we are going to discuss 4 proven tricks to help you focus. So, if you're a scatterbrain, um, like I tend to be sometimes, this would come in handy. So, I'm excited about today. How about you guys?
Yeah,
All right.
cool.
Awesome. So, I um I have a history of forgetting stuff sometimes, and I know a lot of people that I know will be like, yeah, I went to the doctor because I can't focus, and I think I have ADHD, and I don't know what to do, and this whole little, you know, trying to create excuses for their lack of focus, right? But sometimes I think a lot of it might have to do with the habits that we've created for ourselves, or the habits that we've fallen into because of, technology and all this information that's been just thrown at us. So I was looking around, and on, I think it was Oprah Magazine website, they had these lists of things that they did a study on focus, and 4 things that you can do to improve your focus. So we're just going to go over those for you guys, and we will start with swapping caffeine for cardio. Who would have known? Who wants to do that one? Anyone? Anyone out there? Did I lose you? Are you guys there?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was asking who wants to take that one.
I can do it, I guess. Swapping caffeine for cardio. So, I mean, in essence, what we're trying to say is that, if people are relying on, caffeine to keep them alert, then they're likely to find it harder to focus on when they're not, have that caffeine rush. And I know for me, when I used to drink coffee and things like that, or anything with sugar, it's like, I used to get that rush and then I'd crash and I'd be more tired than I was before.
Right.
So I guess, what people should be sort of aware of is to try to look at ways to actually have more energy, whether it's a workout, cardio, a walk, something that's going to stimulate you besides relying on coffee or something that's like synthetic. You know, every study out there, shows that physical activity sharpens the focus. And
Mm-hmm.
with people that have any type of concentration issues or normalities, or they're diagnosed with anything, it, and also, we do know from working out that it does help trigger the release of chemicals in the brain, especially cardio, which we call endorphins, and that's also been thought to affect learning and memory. So, relying on coffee, maybe do something that's going to stimulate you. It could be a walk outside in the woods. It could be, some people might be stimulated from writing a book. There's a number of different ways that people can be stimulated. So, what we're just trying to say is that, do something besides inducing chemicals into your system.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people I know drink coffee, which is interesting to me, because they're always complaining about how, they can't do anything without their coffee, and like checking this article out on this was kind of confirms like how our brain will start using that as, you know as a form to try to focus, and kind of, it's not what I want anyways. I don't know. um yeah, but always swapping out something that, or sugary drinks or caffeine stuff like that, trying to do some form of exercise, like Tom was saying, to just stimulate the brain in other ways. Awesome. Number 2.
I just wanted to add a little something to that number 1 too. I
Yeah.
know for me, um, whenever I exercise, that's where my ideas are just created. Like, I mean, I got ideas coming from everywhere, and it's
Hmm.
like I just have to go write them down or get something done. I mean, it just really, for me personally, it really gets me going. Like, if I do an exercise routine in the morning, and then I'm like, while I'm during that exercise routine, I mean, I'm getting tons of ideas. I'm like, oh wow, you know, this and this and this. So it really stimulates the brain. It really stimulates the thinking. And you know, what they were saying about the caffeine is you actually need to changes the body. Like you need a different baseline to reach that level of concentration that you had before. So that's why you have to keep going back to the caffeine and getting more and more because the
Yeah.
baseline changes. So it's important to understand that. I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never been dependent on caffeine in the morning. I never wanted to be. That's why I never started that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there are days where I'll be tired, but I'm telling you, if you start exercising, you're going to get that energy. Even if you just do 10 minutes in the morning, just a quick 10-minute routine. Even if you just do a quick little yoga routine, it's going to wake you up, you know?
Definitely.
So just getting that blood flowing in your body moving, bringing in oxygen, it's going to increase your energy level and help with your concentration. I know, like being a teacher, this is sorely needed with kids because they get to school, they're filled with sugary drinks and fatty foods, and they haven't had the activity, and they go into the classroom and they're just crazy. Either that or they
Rolling
crash.
all over. Yeah.
They crash hard, you know. So uh, something I actually recommended to a number of elementary school teachers was starting the day with a little bit of an exercise routine. You know, starting the day with like 5-10 minutes of a warm up routine. My mom's a teacher, and I made her a CD of music that she could do in the morning, and she tried it, and she's like, "Wow, what a difference!" You know, go figure. You know,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be anything crazy. I mean, just have them move, just move. You know, and
Mhm.
like one of the things I wanted to do was implement a morning routine because when you go to a school, at least around here, when you go to a school, the ones I've worked at, the kids really aren't playing much. They're standing around. They're just not doing much. So they get in the classroom, they're all hyped up. It's not a good combination. That's what I have about caffeine and exercise for focus. Moving on to the next one is dehydration. You want to be hydrated. Drink lots of water. Um, I can attest to this too. You know, having been dehydrated a few times, heat exhaustion, you can't focus when you're dehydrated. It's not possible.
No.
Your head hurts, your eyes hurt. It's just not going to work. You know, you feel tired, you don't feel good. So you have to drink water. You have to drink more water, more and hydrate. And going back to the caffeinated drinks, those dehydrate you. So um, you're actually doing two things there. If you're doing caffeine, you're going to be dehydrated. So those are two things right away that are going to have you lacking focus. So what does it say about hydration? It just says that basically, if they have a lack of water, if they're slightly dehydrated, their ability to concentrate on a series of cognitive tests were impaired. Um, so yeah, definitely you have to drink the water, stay hydrated. If you don't believe it, just be dehydrated and see how you feel. You know,
Yeah. That's
you
the
can't.
study that
It's
was,
very difficult.
yeah. That study that they're talking about was the one that's in the Journal of Nutrition, right? Is that the one you're
Um,
reading from?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there was one
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
done.
In 2012, a study, the Journal of Nutrition found that mild dehydration, so subtle that you don't really feel it, can lead to inattention. When
Yeah.
women were less than 2% dehydrated, in this case from not drinking enough water after exercise, their ability to concentrate on a series of cognitive tests was impaired. When the brain detects even the smallest changes in physiology, it may begin operating at a suboptimal level to get your attention.
Awesome.
Yeah, another thing that what they discovered also is that they did a study, same study with women, and when they talked about most like how women felt, they said that it didn't affect their performance in working out, but being dehydrated caused headaches, loss of focus, sense of fatigue, and low mood at rest and or during working out. So
Wow.
that's something to be really concerned about right there.
Yeah, water is really important for the body. Very, very, very.
And I mean, this isn't what we're talking about focus, but water, a lot of the time, if you're really active and you're sweating a lot, not enough. Not enough,
Yeah.
because water doesn't have the electrolytes you need, your
Yeah.
body needs. So keep that in mind. Because you can, on a hot day, or if you're outside and very active, and all you're drinking is water, you're still going to be dehydrated because you're going through too much. You know, your body's losing too much water, and it's losing the electrolytes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sodium, potassium, what is it, chlorine? What's the other one, Tom? Electrolytes.
Say that again. I couldn't hear you. It faded out for a second. What did you say?
Oh,
What did you say?
I was saying, what are the electrolytes? Sodium, potassium, chlorine. Do you
That's
know?
the main. That's the main ones that people have to be really concerned about. I feel that they just need to stay hydrated,
Yeah.
and just a lot of times. I mean, it's a different topic. I'm not saying what you're saying is a different topic, but be careful what you're trying to put back into your system too, because most of those drinks are crap out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, like the Gatorades and the Powerades. There's really
Yeah.
high sugar, chemicals.
You don't
No,
want to
but
be
you can
drinking
get
that.
electrolyte water. You can get water.
I found that
Coconut water is really good for you.
exactly
Right.
what I was going to say.
Sorry, coconut water is excellent.
The best form of hydration that you can find for yourself. If you find yourself dehydrated, that's the best thing you can drink.
I mean, if you have to drink Gatorade, water it down. You know, like half water, half Gatorade. I know it doesn't taste very good, but
Yeah, all the
there's way too much
sugars that
sugar
you
in there.
add. Yeah, it's just crazy. All right, cool. Moving on to the next one. Get serious about shut-eye. Sleep. Who would have known, right? I'm just kidding. I'm being sarcastic here. I'm sorry. So there was a study that they did that says when a patient suspects... wait, that's not the study. Well, I'm just going to read this little piece because I thought this was interesting. He says, when a patient suspects she has ADHD, one of the first things I investigate is her sleep routine. This is a medical doctor that said this. He is also a clinical assistant professor of psychiatry at New York University State of Medicine. Cool. All right, anyways, so you talk about the inability to concentrate and how it often causes us a lack of delta sleep, or is caused by a lack of delta sleep. What he's referring to is the slow wave stage that precedes the REM sleep. So it's the time when the brain powers down, and some evidence suggests it's the period in which certain cognitive functions consolidate and strengthen. So if you're sleeping, less than 7 hours, you're likely cutting into the delta phase, and this, can make it difficult to focus when you're awake, basically, if that makes sense. Was that kind of like too much information? Anyways, okay, my lack of focus is getting the best of me here. So his recommendation is get a solid 7 to 9 hours at night for at least 2 weeks. If your concentration doesn't improve, see a sleep specialist to determine if an undiagnosed disorder like sleep apnea might be to blame or something. So that's basically what they say about getting enough sleep. But there are tons of studies out there that talk about how sleep affects different areas of your body, not just focus, but many different aspects as well. So they're out there. Anything else you guys want to add to sleep?
Well, I mean, just don't go without sleep. I mean, if you go without sleep, you know how it feels.
Yeah,
You're sluggish.
I know how it feels.
Irritable. You don't. I mean, it's hard to concentrate if you're falling asleep. You know.
Definitely.
How do you
And
concentrate if all you want to do is go to sleep? It's difficult. So.
yeah.
I think the other thing too, which I just came up in my head, is about focus and sleep, but just focus in general. That people need to be careful if they are working out, and if they are too exhausted and or too sleepy, they could injure themselves working out. I mean,
Definitely.
so with sleep's very important. I mean, I've had sleep apnea. I've had the operation. It worked for like 5 or 10 years. I don't know. I think it came back a little bit, like I'm stopping breathing when I'm sleeping. So people need to be really careful, and if they're not sleeping, they should definitely go see their doctor. And also, when I talk about sleep, I talk about getting good sleep. So, what do we consider good sleep, or what do we consider sleeping? Everybody has their own opinion, but I don't like being disturbed. If I wake up on my own, I can get back to sleep. If something wakes me up, typically I don't get back to sleep for a while. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So, for me, we talked about it a while ago, but I love taking a nap. I've been taking naps for 30-something years since I was in the Navy, you know what I'm saying? So, for me, I like to take a nap once a day, and that really helps me out, even just 20 minutes of shut-eye. It refreshes me during the day. Some people can't do that, but maybe get to a place where you can just meditate for 10 minutes on your lunch break or something like that, or just get to a quiet spot where you can turn off the chaos. You know what I mean? Turn off the phone, turn off the computer, turn off the TV, turn off the radio, just shut down for 10 minutes, and that's going to be beneficial also.
Definitely. Yeah, and we did a hangout on sleep, actually, so you can look back and find that if you're concerned about what that might be causing. So, Tom, do you want to take the next one? The next and last?
Okay. The next and last. Save the best for last, huh? Okay. Now this one sort of made me chuckle, so I'm gonna do it. But it talks about wiggling your toes, and it says if you ever catch yourself nodding along, absent-mindedly during a conversation, as your brain, goes to a million different things, which I just think life is so busy, has gotten so busy now, and there's so many things hitting us. I know years ago they said that we had 4,000 different impressions a day, and I think it's probably twice that, but I'm not an expert or a doctor. But I just know that there's just too much, in my opinion, stimuli. And I have been working on just getting to a quiet place. So when I talk about just wiggling your toes, what it means is just take a couple of minutes and just relax. Where you can just move your feet or move your fingers or anything like that. Because we're being stimulated too much. That's what the experts are saying. And basically it goes back to what I was just saying a couple of minutes ago. Is just try to unwind a little bit. That's all they're saying is it's just too much stuff going on. And and thinking about it. We're talking about focus, but what just came to mind is just multitasking. I mean, people got their phones, they got the computer. People didn't realize, but when everybody got phones, especially people that have an employer or even a regular, if you're working for yourself, now you're tied to your job almost 24/7. I don't mean that literally, but it's like you're working when you're at home, you're looking at your phone, you're doing your computer, you should not be driving and texting and looking at your phone, but I see people doing that all the time. You're at your kid's softball game, you're checking your phone. It's just way too much. Yeah. So wiggling your toes really means take some time out. Okay? Yeah. That's what they're trying to say.
Get back to the present.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that can be added to this topic. We haven't scratched the surface of focus.
I know.
I mean, there's so much, but I just want to reiterate what Tom was talking about, and how there's so much happening at one time that our attention spans are just dropping to, nothing. I mean, just think about a typical YouTube video, okay? If it's more than 2 minutes, you're gone. That's it. You don't even give it 2 minutes. You give it 30 seconds maybe. You're like, up, nope, next one. Up, nope, next one. And then like he was saying about the phone, I mean, you see it all the time. Got the phone. Okay, I got to check my email. Oh, I got to check my text. I got to text. I got to text back right away,
Twitter.
And then you're stuck on this you're a slave to your phone basically. It's a leash, You're on a leash now, and the people want to connect with you, and you need to answer them right away. And then you're sacrificing your happiness because you're stuck on your stupid phone all the time. Sorry, I'm just, something that annoys me for sure. I guess I'm old school.
No, you're not. I've got something to say. I want to say one thing. I've been doing that 21-day Deepak Chopra thing, that meditation, and it's called Miraculous Relationships, and it could be, it's just mainly interpersonal, how do you deal with people. It's not necessarily like love relationship, it's just dealing with people. And every day there's an assignment or a couple assignments, and a couple days ago, the assignment was to whoever you speak to, listen to them intently. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if I'm talking to you, Mariana, even if we're on the phone, my assignment is to like put my paper away, put the computer away, and really intently listen to what you're having to say. And I think that people could get back to that we'd all have better relationships, really, because the whole thing Paul just talked about, the texting, and, I can't stand it when, you're talking to somebody and they're like on their phone all the time. Yeah, I turn my phone down or off. You know what I'm saying? I turn my phone down or off all the time. I don't want to even hear the phone ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, society has become so crazy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it has become pretty bad. I mean, honestly, just the phones and how do you enjoy life? I mean, let's say you go, I've seen this at concerts, and it drives me crazy. You go to a concert, and you're on your phone the whole time. Like, why do you go to a concert if you'd be on your phone? You go to the movies, you're on your phone. Like, I don't get it. But that's, we're talking about focus. I had a college professor, and one of the things that stuck in my mind, because he told me, he's like, if you ever want to be successful, if you want to be successful in life, no matter what you do, you have to develop laser-like focus. Yeah, you have to have focus like a laser. That's why I put that on my thing today, because for me, that's something I have shared with a number of people that lack focus. And, think of a flashlight. The flashlight, the light disperses everywhere. It's not focused, right? But when you have a laser, it focuses right on that one spot. And if you're focusing on that one spot, you're going to get things done. Danny Johnson, this isn't exactly focus that she talks about, but it's time management. I think it's very important because she talks about doing one thing at a time. So if you're working on your business, you're working on that one thing on your business. You don't have the phone on, the internet on, you don't have all this extra stuff going on. You're focusing on the one task. For your parents, moms especially, when you're spending time with your kids, turn off your phone. You don't need to be on your phone texting. How is it spending time with your kids if you're texting the whole time while they're playing?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's not spending time with your kids. I just don't agree with that. Maybe take a few pictures, but if you're sitting there texting, oh, I have to get back to this person, they texted me right, you're on a leash.
Yeah.
That's not freeing up your life. That's complicating your life. But focus, when it comes to success, is huge. One of the things I've been doing is, because there's so much information being thrown at us, there's so much, just for example, if you come into something new, you're going to have everything thrown at you, and you're like, oh, wow, what am I going to do? How am I going to get all this stuff? How am I going to learn all this stuff? And you're going to go about trying to do it, and you're going to fall flat on your face because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So instead, you want to do one thing at a time and get good at that before you move on. So you do one thing, get good at that. It's like, what's the saying? One punch can beat 10,000 punches or whatever. There's some saying. I think Bruce Lee. I would rather know and master one kick, I think it is, than to know 10,000 barrel average or whatever. So I don't have it in front of me. I can't quote it exactly, but what it's saying is, if you just focus on that one punch and make one good punch, it beats the 10,000 punches. Why? Because you've mastered that one punch.
Right.
Actually, a story of a Shaolin monk that did that. Like, he had a guy. He told this guy, "I want to see your punch." Like, he wanted to learn the art of the Shaolin monks. And he told this guy that, "Okay, I want to see your punch." And he's like, "What kind of punch?" "I know, a back fist. I know all of these different punches." He's like, "What I want you to do is punch towards this candle and get as close as you can to the candle." Well, the guy's like, "Okay, I can do that. What punch should I use?" And he went through this whole thing with all these punches because he knew all these punches. He went and punched towards the candle and he stopped, close to the candle. Shaolin monk comes up and he throws his punch. He stops a foot from the candle flame goes out. So he mastered the one punch. The one punch is more deadly than all the other punches combined. So that's just a lesson in focus. You focus and master one thing before you move on to all this other stuff. You're going to become a master. You're going to be much more potent. So it's that laser-like focus. When you're working, when you're with your kids, be with your kids. When you're working, be working. When you're with your wife or you're with your spouse, be with them. Don't be on the phone. Don't be over here watching TV. Be with them. When you're talking on the phone, like Tom was saying, talk on the phone. Turn off the TV. Turn off the radio. Stop talking to other people. Focus. So it's just something that I've had to learn, because like Tom was saying, we're getting hit with things all the time, and where we think these things will make our life easier, it's actually complicating our lives. And we don't get hardly anything done because we're just going in circles. Oh, there's so much information being thrown at us.
Yeah, I've noticed I get like, just, I don't know if it's from being in the military or just life, but as I've gotten older, too much stuff actually gives me anxiety attacks.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I know somebody I know, they can like the other day I was in their car and their phone rang and they got their phone hooked up through Bluetooth to their car stereo. And I was like, she got off of the phone and she was like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, that just drives me nuts. I don't need to hear your phone conversation. You know what I mean? But people have got so conditioned to this electronic stuff, and it's not good.
Yeah.
And now it's being passed on to the kids because the kids think it's normal. I mean, kids, even myself, maybe never, but would you guys think of having a cell phone at 8 years old?
No.
No.
I mean, come on. Now so I know where they're at. I can tell, because if I want to know where they're at and I call them, that they have to answer the phone. Whatever. I don't know.
There was no cell phone. My parents had cell phones when I was a kid.
So I mean, it's just like, and people are just so tuned into the stuff where they're watching TV, they're looking at a YouTube video at the same time, they're checking their Facebook on their phone. And that's, how can you even focus? How can you even enjoy? I mean, and it's just me. And obviously, I have issues. I know I have issues, but I'm getting into being quiet. I'm getting into being Zen-like. That's where I'm going. Mm-hmm. A lot of meditation, outdoors in nature. I never really have gotten into Facebook, but people are on Facebook all the time, and which is okay. I think it's good, but I just can't. I'm not. Now it's interesting. Like, a lot of people are like, even have to report that they're taking the weekend off. What the WTF? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to report that you're taking the weekend off to spend with your friggin' family? That is so stupid.
Yeah.
Really, I saw that this weekend. Somebody that we all know, and she actually had to report. What do they call that when they do that? Because I'm not really into it. I don't.
Status update? I don't know.
No, I'm checking out, or I'm offline, or I'm unplugging. Yeah, I'm unplugging for the weekend to spend time with my family.
Yeah.
What? Really?
That's funny.
Yeah, I actually saw an article about Facebook the other day that's actually saying that people that are on Facebook a lot are actually more depressed.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it has to go too. Like, I know for me, if you get on Facebook, we're just talking about Facebook only. I mean, Twitter's just a mess. Don't even freaking mess with Twitter, because that's just a mess. That's just just I don't even know where to start on that one. But Facebook, if you just get on that lost in that news feed, you won't get anything done all day. Just be like,
No.
but that news feed's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't even look at the news feed. I go straight to my page and do my thing, and I don't mess with that news feed, because that's just crazy. You get nothing done, and you're just scrolling through it, and it's just all this information, this useless information that you don't need to know. I'd rather spend my time filling my brain with useful information that is going to make me a better person. Just saying. That's just me. But yeah, lack of focus is culprit of a lot of things. I would say it's weight gain too. Health issues, lack of focus. You're not focusing on your workout. You have to stop. You have to check your phone. I don't know. That's just. I just know focus is one of those things that's so important. Focus and desire. You got to have that desire to do what you're doing, but to be focused. If you look at any successful person in history, they didn't have 10,000 things going. They were focused on one thing. And becoming great at that one thing before they move on to something else.
Definitely.
I mean, you look at just Apple computers, for example. They're great at providing customer-friendly computers. That's what they're great at. That's what they do. They're not doing all this other stuff. I mean, yeah, they do phones now, but they're still have the same vision, the same why, so to speak. So, yeah, I mean, focus ultimately important. Turn things off. Do one thing at a time. Multitasking actually makes you less efficient. I know a lot of companies make you multitask, but studies have been done. You get less done when you multitask, and you just focus on the one thing. And I think the best way to do that is schedule times for doing what you're doing. Instead of trying, like, let's say you're in a business and you're like, oh, I got a call from this customer, I have to call them right back. No, you schedule a time for those calls. You schedule a time for those appointments. You schedule a time to do your prospecting, your marketing. You schedule a time for that stuff, and that's when you do it. You don't do it all day long. You don't try to fit it in.
Yeah.
Because then you're stuck on the leash all day. I've read The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss, and what he's done is made literally 4-hour work week. 4-hour work week. He doesn't answer emails except at a certain day at a certain time. He's like, I'm not answering the emails unless it's an emergency. I don't answer those emails. And there's a way to do that. The way he knows that it's an emergency. Otherwise, he doesn't answer them. Why? Because email takes up all this time to answer, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't answer those emails. He doesn't take phone calls. He's like, I don't take phone calls unless at this time and this time. So from 12 to 2 on Wednesday, I take phone calls. That's it. I'm not taking phone calls any other time. So, I mean, it's just focusing on that one thing. I mean, we have so many things going on. I've been stuck in it, like, oh, no, I have to get back to this person right away. No, you don't. No, you don't. They're going to live. Nothing's going to happen to them. They're okay. Unless it's an emergency, but if it's not, you don't need to get back to them and tell them, hey, you know what? I have an appointment. I'll talk to you at the appointment. No more of this all day long stuff. late into the night. Oh, I have to talk to them because it's on their schedule, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a trainer, when I was a trainer, that's one of the things I hate it because the clients, you know, we had to go with their schedule, and I learned really quick. I'm like, nope, going on my schedule now. I'm not doing that anymore because I was working literally all day long, late
Yeah,
into the night, you know, early morning, 6 a.m. to 10, 11 at night.
that's
And I was
nuts.
on there whenever they could come in. I'm like, no, these are the hours I'm available. This is when we schedule. If you can't make it, you can't make it. I'll find someone that can, you know.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about focus, but I think we've done quite a bit here.
Yeah. I mean, just to like do like a little overview. You know, we're just so distracted with everything that, you know, society has put together for us in technology, or just, you know, in general. You know, the that feeling that we're missing something is always like in the back of our head because we're so used to all the noise now. And, you know, making sure that we try to get out of that would really help to create a better stream of focus for you in anything that you do. So just to recap, get some more exercise. Instead of getting coffee, go for a run or something. Drink a lot of water. Get some serious sleep. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go watch our sleep hangout. And
Uh-oh.
What's that? Did we lose her?